This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to one more session of this Archicad Now Malaysia webinar series. So as this is especially dedicated to our Singapore and Malaysia, but mostly Malaysia customers. So our team here in Singapore, we have Zait, me, and James joining. And we have from Malaysia, Ashraf, and Noria is our master reseller. So I'm Marcelo Mourinho. I'm the business development manager for Graphisoft Singapore and Malaysia. If we were allowed to travel, you guys would see us more up there, but unfortunately we are stranded here at the moment. So this session is a technical session to showcase the capabilities of Archicad. So we had already two sessions. The first one was held by Ashraf, and the focus was documentation with Archicad for submission. So how we can get the 2D submission drawings directly from the 3D BIM model. Then last week, I held a session about quick BIM modeling from conceptual design. So how we can, with mass model, just push and pull very quickly, have your area schedules and your floor plan sections, elevations from a mass model to test many different design options. And today, Zait will also work based on a similar workflow, but go into more detail. So how we can do detailed modeling from a massing model. So for preliminary and conceptual design. So I think that with this, I can pass the screen or the speech to Zait. And after he showcases his session, we'll have a Q&A. So if you have any questions, meanwhile, you can post it on the chat of this webinar window, and we will either answer during the session or we can bring them later on if they are not immediately answered. So Zait, up to you now, friend.
Okay, thank you, Marcelo. Okay, good evening, everybody. Okay, for those who don't know me or knows me, okay, this is a common question that I receive from a lot of users, especially those who know me, because I've been dealing with Sketchup since year 201 version 2 under Atlas software. So how do we bring in a Sketchup massing model, right, into Archicad, and how to model it very quickly, right? So we have more detail with wall, with wall thickness, door. So basically, I'm going to use some of these tools. Okay, hopefully I can cover all of them. Okay, today. Okay, so what I'm going to do now? Okay, let's say we have a Archicad open. Okay, I'm going to run Archicad now. So I'm going to in a 3D view, right? So I'm going to open a fairly simple, basically just a simple file, okay, that was created in SketchUp. Okay, as you know, Archicad is open BIM software, right? So it opens SketchUp file as well. So I have this a simple file that was created. There's no windows, no nothing, basically just mesh model. Okay, let's wait a while while the files open. Okay, so just for information, once you bring in a SketchUp file, okay, let's say just a simple building like that, right? So Archicad will bring a SketchUp file as an object. Okay, so what we need to do is to right-click, convert this object, okay, to morph, right? So once I have this, I just click OK. And mind you, this is still a SketchUp file. The extension is SKP, right? So now what I want to do now, I will just go to my floor plan. Okay, let me close this guy. Okay, and then I just want to run my tool slab, my slab tool, and then I just click a space bar, right, and use a magic wand so that I have a slab, right? So once I have this slab, okay, maybe this is an 8-story or 10-story building. So let's say I don't need this anymore, okay, because once I have a slab, okay, I don't need that anymore, right? So maybe what I want to do now, okay, maybe I want to add a few more stories. Okay, so right now I have only 1 story, right? So I want to add maybe 1 more story, or maybe I want to change the height. Okay, 3005, 3005. Okay, so let's click OK. Okay, so now also either from the floor plan or from the 3D. So I'm going to use a magic wand, and I'm going to create a wall, right? So since this is a SketchUp file, so I'm going to save this file to Archicad file, to an Archicad file, right? So I just go back to Archicad solo project and make sure that okay. So I just call this Archicad now. So maybe I put this okay ground floor. Okay, okay, just ground maybe, right? So I just save this guy. Okay. So it will take a while to save. Okay. Not really that long. Okay, I think something is because of Catalina, because I just upgraded my machine to my OS to Catalina, so I noticed the speed is a bit slow. Okay, so let's say I have this floor here, right? And this is the ground floor. Okay, so what I want to do now, okay, I just want to take this floor and I want to make it into a module, okay, so that I can, bring in the module into the building. Okay, the difference, maybe later I will show you the difference between a PLN file and the module file. The file size is smaller, okay, so that is, when you do a big project, is, the files should be lighter, right? So I'm going to save this to a module file, and I just put it there. Okay. Why this saving is slow? Okay. So I have saved that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to copy this guy. Okay. Maybe I want to add another story there. Okay. I'm going to add 1 more floor, right? Okay. And I'm going to take this. I'm going to cut this. Okay, or maybe save it first. Save as to typical floor. Typical. Oh. Okay. And I'm going to move this floor plan to the 1 story. Come on, Catalina. I don't know. I don't know. It becomes slow.
So yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just cut and paste. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to save this off. Right. Okay. So now from this typical plan, I'm going to save this file as well to a module. Okay, because this is also some users ask me, say how to manage, files, right? Or else if you don't use modules, sometimes files can be very, very heavy. Okay, so I go to select this, and then same thing here, save selection as module, call this, let's say, typical. Okay, okay, maybe before I save it, let's check on the file size, right? So if we look at the size of the file, okay, I'm not sure whether you can see here. Okay. So usually the MOD file is smaller. Okay, so if you look at the ground MOD here and the ground PLN here, right? Okay, you notice that okay, the file is smaller. Okay.
Yeah, they're compressed files so that
Yeah.
they have better performance on projects.
Yep.
So if it's a really big project, this will only use very little resources of your computer.
Yes, it's encouraged to use that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I have this, and then I'm going to open a new empty drawing, and I'm going to stack them with this module file. Oh, Catalina,
So what Zait is doing is coming out with, the typical floor plate that will be repeated many times.
Yeah.
So we use that as a module. That's the name how it's done with Archicad. James, could you put here the link for the Graphisoft Learn that has the guide for this Hotlink modules? There is one that explains the 3 methods,
sure,
right?
Sure, I'll try to find it.
Yeah. So basically, if you're on SSA and you will have access to this. So you crashed it, is it, Zait?
No. It's just that I don't know my Teams went in.
Yeah, turn off Teams. Turn off Teams because Teams takes a lot of resources.
Okay, so basically, okay, I believe most of you are designers. Most of you are familiar with SketchUp, right? So this is the workflow that I use, to do in SketchUp, with components. Right? And I find what we have in Archicad with the file name MOD is better, and it's better in Archicad. Everything in Archicad is better. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to File. Okay, so basically you notice this is empty drawing, right? Empty drawing. So I'm going to go to external content, and I'm going to place this Softlink. Okay, so I'm going to select this module. Okay, let's say this ground. Okay, notice ground MOD is 1.3 meg, ground PLN is 5.6 meg, right? So I'm going to bring this in. Okay, so I'm going to just put it there, select, right? So right now I want to get Archicad to follow the building height that I have it in here, right? So what happens that, okay, maybe I did a wrong step. I should have adjusted the height first. Sorry. Okay, I should have adjusted the height here. So let me check the height here. Okay, this is 3000. So I'm going to make this 3005. So 3005, and I'm going to add few more steps, have few more slabs, few more floors, stories. Okay, maybe 8. Okay, and once I have it there, then I'm going to insert this solid module. Okay, I'm going to repeat this. Okay, and maybe I want to make this master ID. Okay, so I'm going to ask the file that I created earlier to follow the floor height. Okay, sometimes we are in a rush, so we don't really do the model in the actual height that we want. But now in this file, it's going to be the actual height that I want. Okay, so I'm going to place this bonding module, right? And the ground floor, I will just leave it, place it on the 0 stories, right? Okay, and I click OK. So now if I go to my second story, same thing here. I'm going to place another hot link, right? And I'm going to bring in my typical module. Okay. Same thing here. Maybe I'm going to make this ID as typical. Right. So one story. Then I just click. Okay. So if we look at the 3D, okay, we have two levels here, right? So what I'm going to do now, so if I go right click here and I'm going to go to the edit element, okay, so I'm going to copy this floor here to every floor. Okay, copy this to every floor. Right. Okay, so I have this, just a quick one, right? So I'm going to save this file. Okay, let's say I'm going to save this. I call this Archicad now. Okay, AC now. Okay, I already have that one. Maybe AC now 3. Okay, so once I have this building, right? I mean the the layout of that building. So I'm going to open back my file, my typical story. Okay, and I'm going to do more stuff in here. Okay, so maybe the first thing I want to do, maybe I want to I don't know, I just want to create a leaf core maybe. Okay, maybe I just draw a leaf core of maybe 5,000 to 5. Okay, right. And maybe I just do this guy. So maybe I just want to paste it there. Okay, I don't really bother about thing first. So then maybe I want to put some windows, right? Okay, so maybe I want to change my wall. Okay, I don't like that wall, so I want to change this maybe this wall, and maybe the slab. I'm going to do okay more detail on that. Okay, maybe I just want to put it there. Okay, so this guy also I'm going to this wall concrete the div core I'm going to make it to okay. I'm going to change this to material and change this to RC reinforced concrete structure. Okay, so maybe I want to create a okay, let's put in okay window. Okay, I like to use a guide lah. Okay, maybe I just put a simple window. Okay, maybe this window and okay. So I have this window, then maybe I'm going to add another guide there.
Sorry, Zait. So
Yeah.
in the beginning, you didn't put any grid, right?
No, the grid later. So I'll put the grid later. Okay. So I'm going to have maybe I don't know 5, 6. Okay. So let's say I have this window here, right? And then I want to see how the look of this, right? So basically what what I can still do, I can just, you know, take this guy, okay, take this floor and then save it as a module again, and then later see what happens. But before we do that, maybe I want to do something else. Okay, maybe I want to add a curtain wall here. Okay, so maybe I don't need this wall. Okay, because I just want to get a very quick outlook of the design. Okay, so the curtain wall here, maybe I want to put 3003. Okay, maybe 0 here. And I look at the scheme. Okay, I have this, but I don't like quite this guy here, so I'm going to remove this. And maybe best division. Okay, so I have these 3 segments here. Okay, okay, so I don't, okay, don't worry about the frame. I'm just going to use, okay, so I'm going to use a continuous curtain wall, right? Right, so I don't even bother whether the corner window is okay or not okay. So I can take this and, okay, maybe I want to make this wall, right? Okay, maybe I'm going to mirror this wall. Okay, let's say I have something like that. I'm going to remove this guy. Okay, so I'm going to select this, save selection as module. So I'm going to override basically my typical. Come on, Katarina. Okay, so now let's say now I have that. So let's see what happens if I do this. Okay, so I right click, I just go to my hotlink module. Okay, I just update a module. Okay, right. Okay, mind you, with this, I have, you know, floor plan with wall thickness, right? Okay, you know, you use SketchUp, right? Or even more, you know, it's like paper thin, right? So now I have that. So very quick modeling, right? Okay, maybe now I look at it. Okay, maybe I want to add. Okay, the ground floor, maybe. Okay, maybe there's a restaurant there. Okay, I'm going to do that thing later, right? So maybe I want to do put a staircase. Okay, let's say I'm going to remove this rule. I'm going to make this stair maybe okay, 1 2 1 2 5 0 maybe. Okay, I'm working on the, no, not this way. I should go to my, where are you? Okay, my typical. Okay, my typical here. So I go back to my stair. Okay, but just be careful when you do this. Sometimes you would miss, okay, which file you are working on. Okay, always look at, you know, these things above there. Okay, the file name, always be alert. Okay.
So now this file now is a mod file, right?
Yes, this is a PLN file. So because we are not going to work on the MOD file, because the MOD file, because it's a lightweight file, so there's no libraries, okay, loaded. Okay, so I'm going to do this stair. So basically I just want to do a simple.
It is explained on the document that James has put on the chat. Mm-hmm. Normally module files are, when we don't open them, we just publish them from another file.
Yep.
So they're almost like just an output that you bring in. It's like for those that are, you know, familiar with with CAD is more like a block, you know, that
Yeah.
we put a group of elements that will then be used.
It's like a reference file, right?
So now I've drawn the stairs and I want to move the stair. Okay, maybe somewhere around here. Example. Okay, example lah. Okay, so I have this stair. Of course, I can do a mirror image of a mirror copy of the stair, but maybe I just want to draw a simple wall. Okay. Okay. Okay, don't worry. This always happens during demo. When you work on it, it should be okay. Okay, so maybe I want to put this. Okay, 5 meter. Right. So maybe there. Okay. So I'm not going to look at the doors or the window, the thing yet. Okay, so if I want to move the wall to the window, okay, of course it can be done. So same thing here. So you keep doing it, slowly, okay, item by item, right? So let's say now I want to do okay, even the railing I'm going to go into detail, okay, later. Okay, so just the idea is that to do these things very, very fast. Okay, to model the file very, very fast. Okay. So that you can easily see how the building actually, looks like with more detail. And then if you notice, how easy to do, how easy I just did the what that, the curtain wall. Okay. Okay, do not copy properly. Okay, never mind. Just move it. Okay, maybe I did not move the thing properly just now. Okay, never mind. Just move it there. Okay. Okay. So same thing again. So I'm going to take this guy. Okay, before I do that, okay, now we're going to look detail on the curtain wall. Okay, let's look at the curtain wall. Okay, so now we look at the floor plan, right? The 3D looks like that. And then if you look at the corner window, the corner frame. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to change the corner frame. Okay, and I'll show you how easy it is to do in Archicad. Okay, so I'm going to do something with this. Okay, I'm going to change something here. I'm going to go to the frame, right? And I'm going to change the corner frame here, and maybe I'm going to change it to this guy. Okay, diagonal butt glaze frame 24. And I'm going to go to the panel. Maybe I'm going to replace this from, maybe from aluminum to glass. Okay. See, right? Just take a look at that. Okay. Same thing here again. What I'm going to do now, maybe here, but I'm going to save this as, and I'm going to override again, typical. Okay, MOD. Okay, what time now? 5:35. So I find this workflow is very, very efficient because you are not carrying a heavy load. Okay, to carry one small basket is better than to carry the whole, lots of stuff, okay, with you. So now if I go to my building, Archicad now, let's go to the 3D. Okay. So if you go to the hotlink module manager, it will tell you that, hey, there's something, your typical module have been modified. Okay, so you can update it in here, or you can just right click from there, from the 3D. So let's say I just show you two ways, okay? Two ways of doing this updating.
So this is how Archicad handles like the modules. So how you can have some element, and imagine that you have a variation in the curtain wall in every 2 stories. What we could do is we could just have a module A and a module B, and then just replace on those different stories.
Yeah. Okay. So now, okay, I'm going to just stop the design of oil, or else I won't be able to finish. Okay. Maybe later at the end of the day, I'll show you what the finished building that I've done. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, because there was some requests, is it how do you make groove lines? Okay, groove lines, right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to open again my typical floor, okay, or any of the files, So I'm going to create I'm going to go to options, and then I'm going to create a profile, okay, and I'm going to call this maybe groove wall, okay, right? So I'm going to use fill, and maybe I'm going to just make a simple wall, maybe 150 okay, 3500. Let's say the height of the wall. Then I'm going to get a guide there. I'm going to maybe leave this up 900 or 1 meter. Okay, maybe 1 meter. Right. And I'm going to make another profile. Okay, maybe 20 by 3500. I'm going to make this as a plaster. Okay, so same as here, maybe 20 3500. Okay, and I set this part as the origin. So I say this wall here, okay, I'm going to make this as a plaster gypsum. Okay, and this wall is actually, I'm going to make it as the finish. Right, so I'm not going to activate this width stretch, height stretch. Okay, I just want to fix it. Okay, and this wall here, I'm going to put maybe brick. Okay, maybe brick structural. Just brick. Okay, and this will be the core. So I'm going to save this. Right. So what happened now? I'm going to make a groove. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create another field, maybe 10 by 20. Right. And I'm going to maybe distribute this guy, multiply this, or maybe okay, I can spread it or distribute it, okay, depending how I want it. Okay, let's spread this to a gap of maybe 200. So I'm going to take this guy. Okay, maybe I just want to stop it somewhere. Okay. There. Oops, slanted. Okay, should be straight. Okay, I should press Shift. Okay, maybe I'm going to stop here. Okay, right. So now I'm going to marquee this. I'm going to marquee this guy. Okay, the opening. I just want to move this from there to there. Right. Of course, this is just 2D. You cannot see the view in 3D. So I'm going to remove this and I'm going to save this. Okay, so what happened now? I'm going to go back here. Right. Okay. Okay, let's close this guy. Okay, maybe this wall. Okay, maybe I suspend the group. I just want to make maybe this wall. Okay, and I'm going to change this wall to even. Okay, the other side also, so I can select that wall. Okay, together with this wall, and I'm going to change this to a complex profile, and I'm going to use this as groove wall. Okay, I'm going to replace it with my groove wall. Right. Okay. So you see this. Okay, this one I have this because of the material, right? Okay. So when I know that there's a material here, so maybe I need to change this also to brick wall. Okay. Okay, maybe because of the structure. Okay, never mind. Don't worry about that. Okay. So I can just change this in the complex profile later. But importantly, I want to just see how the building looks like. Okay. Okay, I'm going to save this. Okay, what time? 5:45. Okay, after that, I'm going to go to the stairs. Faster, Catalina. Hello. Okay. I'm going to save this again. Save selection as module. Typical. Okay. It's best to always save the file in module, maybe in the 2D view. I find it is I don't know, depends on preference, but I find it is better.
Yeah, so basically there is a lot. It's super complex if you want to know everything about the modules. What Zait is showing you here is pretty much the workflow. There are many things, as James is saying now on the chat, that we can publish each module using the publisher set. So again, I will talk a little bit later about this, that we have the guides for this and where you can see it.
Okay. So let's say now if I go back to the, okay, so now I've shown you how to create a quick, doing buildings using modules, a very quick way to do that. And then I've shown you how to create a complex profile. Okay, this one I think requested by Andrew, how to make, okay, groove. Okay, so maybe the next one I'm going to show you, okay, this is also requested by some users, okay, how to create a railing that fix onto walls. Okay, So basically, I just want to create a simple railing. Okay, I'm not going to do so detailed, right? Okay, that will be in another session maybe for railing, because stairs and railing can be very detailed. Okay, so if I look at this, okay, so this railing I need to change the reference line. Okay, so let's say this railing here, I'm going to remove. Okay, basically the handrail here, I'm going to remove it. Okay, this is the interesting part. Okay, this guy. So basically, we know that there are walls surrounding these stairs, right? So, and we don't want the stairs, come with all these balustrades, posts on next to the wall. It looks funny. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to edit this railing, and we're going to use these handrails. Only the handrails have the fixing onto the wall. So I'm going to remove this top rail. Okay, and this handrail, okay, I'm going to click on fixing. Okay, fixing here, right? You can see that. Okay, then maybe I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to change this. Okay, in here maybe I want to just fix it. Okay, 600 center, and I'm going to go to the rails. I'm going to remove the rails as well. Okay, all these inner posts I don't need. Okay, I'm going to minus. Okay, so you know what is plus, what is minus. Okay, so I don't need this post as well. Okay, maybe I just want to make this empty. Right. So if I zoom near, right? Oops. If I zoom near, see that? You can see that. Okay, this is how you do the fixing. Okay, Yampeng, you also asked me, right? So this how we do that. Okay. So now if I go back and I say, okay, show all. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So very quickly we can go from a schematic stage to
Yes.
to a detailed stage.
Yeah. So of course, I don't need to show you how to copy again. I think you guys know the gist of it. Okay.
Yeah. So Ricky is talking also about some of the methods for generating the module files. So one way is to have the repository method, where you can have multiple module files that are published out from one single file. So let's say if you have a building here that has many different unit types, then you can do one on each floor, and then you just use that to publish one by one. Good suggestion, Ricky. Thank you.
Okay, something is not right with my wall here. What's wrong with my wall? Okay, never mind. Okay, I can just trim this wall, like, oh, I think the corner. Okay, I think when I did a mirror, it was not. Okay, so as I have this same thing again, I just create a module. Typical. Okay, I think you don't get sick of this, right? But this is the workflow when even when I was working with Sketchup. So when I see, wow, Archicad has the same thing, right? That's it. Right. Okay, after this, I'm going to I show you these three. Okay, now it's 5:50. After that, I'm going to show you the actual building that I have created. Okay, just to show you a workflow that within like 1 hour, okay, you can do, or maybe maximum 2 hours. Okay, you can do buildings very fast. Okay, so other thing is okay, maybe I just open the building that I have created. Okay, where's the file?
You're looking for SketchUp files only. Yeah.
No. Enough with SketchUp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just
You
going
had
to.
only the SketchUp
I had
file.
from V2 version 2. Okay, way before Google. Okay, by Atlas Software. Right. So I
Okay.
said there is something missing. There is something missing in there. Right. First, I cannot do documentation. And in Singapore, it's like, oh, you have to submit BIM. You have to submit BIM. So right, I was looking for a BIM software that is like SketchUp. Right. So there is Archicad.
Yeah,
So
we have a lot that comment that the look and feel
yeah,
is similar.
yeah.
So
I call Archicad actually. Personally, I call it a SketchUp BIM Archicad.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says it all.
Yeah. So just for you,
So
okay,
yeah,
now
it
if I,
might seem
yeah,
that we end up spending a lot of time, managing the files, but this
yeah,
is because Zait is setting up this the first time. Once
yeah,
this system is set up, is quite fast for you to update the hot links and for
correct.
you to use this. Is this so later when we have the Q&A and the discussion, can you all check with us if this is a normal workflow? Do you normally use hot links in your projects? What is your experience? So we would love to know, your feedback.
Right. So I have to show from scratch because most of the time you guys will be doing this from scratch, right? So of course you can do details, like put all this, right? And then you can even curve the curtain wall if you want to, right? Okay, but I think because is running time is running out, so I just
Yeah,
want to drag.
I
But
think the
I
concept
yeah,
is well explained.
it's clear.
I don't know, the auditorium could say, but the idea I think is quite clear that we can assemble, having a typical, obviously a few variations if you have, a ground floor
Yes.
or a roof plan,
Yes.
We can
an
show.
MEP story.
Maybe you can show elevation also. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's okay. Let's say I go to the
Yeah.
elevation here. Okay.
So basically also like the drawings are generated directly from here. Yeah.
Okay, the grid, of course, I have to adjust, but I just want to show you. So if I go to the if I go to the settings, maybe
So basically,
I'm going to show to nothing, and I'm going to remove the transparency.
yeah. So basically, the documentation comes extracted directly from here, and we can even have many different ways of representing the elevation.
Yep.
And you saw like how fast, if we have just a generic mass model that came from SketchUp, we can use that to trace over and then add more detail into our model, so that it goes from a concept design stage into a schematic or even to design development. So this is pretty much what we had to show. Is it, Zait? Do you have anything else to?
Yes, basically, I just want to show how you manage module, okay, for your typical floor. So you can also have like typical 1, typical 2 in case you want to do like, from second to fourth or 5 is a different design, or maybe top. So you can also do that, okay. But as for you understand how to manage the module file, okay, you can do as many typicals that you want, okay. And then I'll show you like how to create a complex profile, okay, simple ones, like the groove example, right? And also how to do railing that fixed to the wall.
Yeah, very good, Zait. So now if I could share my screen so I wrap up, or you just switch to the slides because you have the
Okay,
same
hold on.
slide.
I think Jason asked a question, okay, about the graphic overrides. Yes, okay, you can create different configurations for plans, sections, and elevations. Actually, okay, I don't have time to show you. Maybe Jason, I can show you some of the time that I created a trial, a test graphic override for Malaysian users, where on plan, we use different colors and elevation different colors. and sections as well.
Maybe
Yeah,
I
we could
can.
have another session about it.
Yeah. So
Usually,
okay, so
like here in Malaysia, we for the building part, we normally we have a different type of, let's say, like the submission for building and planning.
yeah.
So yeah, or graphic override to do that using the
I
same.
think I think on the first session actually Ashraf showed about documentation. I think Jason missed it maybe. Okay, Marcelo, so you want to wrap up?
Yes. So
You want to share your
what
screen?
do you want to do? I take over your screen?
Sure.
You make me presenter?
Okay, hold on.
Okay, I think I can take.
You can take it. Yeah.
Okay, so now we'd have here the Q&A session. So anyone has further questions on this? I think we went through during the session through most of the questions. So I think that, you know, most of you being users here, you understand these concepts, the hot links. I would like to emphasize again that we have this the guide, that we have the link on the chat. So we have a few ebooks that are downloadable. So if you have active SSA, when you connect to Graphisoft Learn website, you will see that. So basically, I'd like to highlight also here that we can you can join our basics, advanced modeling and advanced documentation trainings. Again, if you're SSA client, this is free of charge for you. So if you're with an active SSA, then we'd like to bring you to this Graphisoft Learn portal. So this is also so the portal is where we have this catalogs, digital catalogs, that you can go there and choose the documents that will help you on your company workflows. So one is the hotlink modules. Then you have others for, let's say, how do you do site plans, or how do you handle graphic overrides and so on. So if you scan this QR code, you can go there and check it out. Some of the content is fully paid, some is discounted for SSA clients, I think most of it, and some is free for SSA clients. You just need a Graphisoft ID to access it. So you were mentioning, Zait, that someone couldn't join an earlier session. Actually, if you follow us on YouTube, you can see the sessions are going to be published there. So you can always catch up and see this content that we went through now at any time. Let's say you want to go back and a few months from now, you remember something that you saw on one of these sessions, you can always recap by following us on social media. So by scanning these QR codes, you can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Okay. So also very important contact for each one of you. In Malaysia, our master reseller, Noria, I think most of you know her, but we have here her contacts. And for anything, she's together with Ashraf, the primary point of contact. So in case you need anything, just reach out to them or to us. So with this, I think we can wrap up the session, and I would like to thank you all for joining us. And we will soon release further Archicad Now sessions. So stay tuned, and that's why it's important to follow us on social media or be in contact with us to catch up with what's happening. Thanks a lot to everyone. See you next time.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Great session, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.